Have you ever considered what your perfect game would be? I have, and I may have just found it. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the dark and mystical world of Witchfire, a rogue-lite first-person shooter that has been turning heads with its hauntingly beautiful graphics and heart-pounding gameplay. Witchfire will be your next obsession if you're a fan of games like Doom Eternal or Dark Souls. But before we go over the game, if you enjoy this kind of content, hit that like button and subscribe. It helps the channel grow, and you won't miss out on any upcoming videos. So what exactly is Witchfire? Developed by the Astronauts, which is the same studio that brought us The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, Witchfire is a game that has a unique blend of gothic fantasy with high-octane FPS action that players will crave more playtime in. It is currently in early access at the cost of $40 USD, but for the amount of content that's already in the game and that's going to be coming out in the future, at higher prices is really worth it. Especially when you consider the number of AAA games that get released with only 6 to 8 hours of playtime. I'm looking at you, Call of Duty. In Witchfire, you're a witch hunter called a Prayer, who is ordained by the Pope and armed with an arsenal of otherworldly weapons and magic to take down the entity known as the Witch, along with her minions. Each enemy type is more deadly than the last, but that doesn't mean that the player can underestimate them, as even the weakest mob can end your run fast. The enemies aren't your typical brainless mobs either, and they will use tactics like flanking or feigning surrender and fleeing to hide, and then rejoining the fight after you forget about them in an ambush style attack. To be honest, the amount of times that I've had a run end because of an enemy fleeing only to rejoin the fight while my back is turned is twice, but it's weird that it happened that way. When an enemy is killed, the player can get items like supply chest keys, which will give them items such as the white feathers to reroll in-level power-ups, gold to unlock or speed up weapon, spell, and item, along with ability research. But most importantly is the Witchfire, which the player uses as the in-game currency to level up and unlock new areas of the sanctuary and levels. The roguelite elements mean that you're constantly evolving, unlocking new abilities and weapons to face the escalating challenges each level provides. Each run of a level forces you to fight for every bit of success and challenges you to constantly be growing and testing your limits. Even more so when you level up Genosis and elevated enemy types spawn into the levels that you've already run. When you die, you lose everything but spells, weapons, and abilities, but you can reclaim your body to regain your lost Witchfire, which is very nice. I want to take a moment to talk about the visuals. Witchfire runs on Unreal 4, and it definitely shows. The environments are jaw-dropping, from desolate, rain-soaked villages to sprawling, cursed forests lit by an ominous moonlight. The attention to detail is, quite frankly, insane, and I find myself staring at the landscapes during the rare moments of peace. Every texture, every particle effect, it's all designed to immerse you in this dark, foreboding world. And don't get me started on the enemy designs. Almost all of the enemies are straight out of an 80s metal album cover, with my favorite being the enemy type called the Goon, which may be a reference to one of the best black metal albums ever, In the Sign of Evil by Sodom, aka Wodos. Gameplay-wise, Witchfire is a mastercraft, blending fluid mechanics and intense strategy. Combat is fast-paced and visceral. You've got guns that pack a punch, from crossbows to revolvers, and the addition of magic makes every fight feel dynamic and unpredictable. It's not about just spamming attacks. You've got to learn enemy patterns, dodge at just the right moment, and make smart use of your abilities to survive. This is a game where skill matters. I also want to take a moment to appreciate the sound design. From the eerie ambient tracks that set the tone, to the visceral sound effects of spells and gunfire, the audio in Witchfire pulls you in and doesn't let go. Even the enemy screams and environmental cues are meticulously crafted to heighten the tension. It's one of those games where you want to play with a good pair of headphones to catch every little detail. So, is Witchfire worth your time? If you're in a dark fantasy, challenging combat, and a world that feels alive and dangerous, this game should be on your radar. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to leave a like, drop a comment below about what you're most excited about in Witchfire, or whatever you thought about this video, and hit that subscribe button. Let's keep the hype going for this incredible game. Thanks for watching, and remember to take care of your IRL stats. Stay healthy, wealthy, and well.